This is my sketch illustration of a realistic dragon, and today I'm going to guide you through each of the steps that you could draw this yourself. So grab a pencil and paper and let's get started. Welcome back everyone, and thanks for joining me today. For this lesson I'll begin with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now if you don't have a mechanical pencil, anything you have around the house will work just fine. Now the first thing we want to do is establish the basic pose and composition of our drawing. So let's start on the bottom left side of the page. We're going to draw a straight angled line going across the center of the head and body, all the way up towards the top. Now it's going to form the top half of the head. So starting all the way down towards the bottom, let's bring the beak coming down. Let's go all the way up towards the top with an angled line. Now the top of the head, we're going to draw another straight angled line, but we're going to go wider as it comes up. So that gap in between that center line, we get wider, going up to right about there. Now let's go back to the center. Draw a straight line. We're going to open up the mouth, coming all the way down towards the bottom. Flatten this off. Come down towards the pointed jaw. Now it's going to go wider again, going all the way up towards that center line, towards the top. Let's go along the top of the head. We're going to go right about here, draw the eye. We're going to go up and then down. Go back to the left side, draw the bottom of the eye, coming down and then up. Now we're going to take this line, I'm just going to bump this up above the eye and then down. Now I'm going to blend this curve in towards the spike, towards the fin. So we're going to come down, go up, and then hook that back. Let's taper this so it gets wider, and then come around, and then in to right about there. Let's go to the right corner of the eye. We're going to draw another curve coming across, bend that down and out, and again, just tapering this in towards the side. Let's go to the top edge of the mouth, draw one more, curving this around, and then down towards the point, and then just pull that back up. Now I'm going to create the fin in between each of these 3 points. So let's step down and add the fin, coming around and then out, and do that again. In the corner of the mouth, we're just going to add that cartilage. Just going to stretch that skin coming around. Now I want to add some perspective to the inside of the mouth. So I'm going to start from this point, draw the back side of the mouth coming across. I'm just going to pull this in towards the corner of the mouth and then pull that all the way down towards the chin. Let's add a basic shape for the tongue. Starting up here, curl this out, down, out, and then back down toward the tip. And then we're going to taper this so it gets wider as you come back in towards the throat. Now we're starting to see the formation of the head, so I'm going to go in and start adding some shape to the neck. Let's start from the jaw. I'm just going to curl this up. It's going to round out the neck, come down across the body, and then down towards the bottom of our page. So we're just curving the body back in. Let's start back towards the brow. Just going to go across, and then curve the back of the neck, going out towards the side of our page. Now we're going to add another fin across the top of the head. From here, bend this up, and then out toward the tip, and taper that back down. Let's add another one. We're going to go up, and then out, and then back in. Let's add the fin in between. Now we have the basic rough sketch of the head. Let's go back and clean this up by erasing some of these guidelines. And we're going to come back and start modifying the shapes. Now once we clean up our drawing, I'm going to go back in and start modifying the shapes. Now I'd like to start back at the eyes. So we start by adding some folds, going across little wrinkles, coming down towards the corner of the eye. Now I'm just going to add some more shape to the bottom. I'm going to bend this in and then around. Add some wrinkles coming out from the eye. And then from the eye, just going to work our way out. So adding some folds, coming across. Let's work our way across the top of the brow. And then from here, it's going to work our way across the top of the head. Adding a little bit more curvature to that straight line. I want to add a little horn across the front. Let's add another one, going up. And I want to bend that beak, going across, and just bending that down towards that tip. So we're just using this rough sketch as a guide. Work our way around. Let's add a fold. I'm going to pull this up, in. I'm just going to blend this into the nostril. Just pull the bottom of the nose, Lightly shade that in. Now around the nostril, I'm just going to add some skin, just bending this around. Let's go back. Draw the top edge of the mouth. And right here, we're going to add some more wrinkles. So some folds going across. Have to add some more shape, bending this around. Now right here, I'm just going to blend into this spine. And again, we just want to add a little bit more shape so it's not so straight. Going out towards the tip. Now right here, we don't need to go all the way back in. Just going to come in and just fade that out. Now here, we're just going to leave this alone. And just work our way across that second spine. And we want to put a little bit more emphasis across the top. Just going to fade that in. Now let's draw on the lower jaw, starting underneath the spine. I'm going to add a few wrinkles and a bend coming down towards the jaw, and just curl that back up. Let's add that pointed chin. Now the chin, we're going to go across towards the jaw. Let's add a few points on the jawline, and then bend that back up. Now let's draw on some shape across those top fins. Now right here along the bottom, I'm just going to blend this across towards the top of the back. Now across this bend, we're just going to fold some of that skin. Down and then out towards the belly. Now with the back side of the mouth, I'm just going to blend this in towards the teeth. So I'm just going to add these little points, just bending them in, also across the back side of the mouth. Add those fangs across the top, across the front edge of the mouth. And you want to vary the size. Also across the front of the jaw. I'm just going to roughen some flames coming out from the mouth, starting along the top edge and then the bottom. Now we're going to go back to the eye using my thicker pencil. This is my 0.9 millimeter. I'm going to add some contrast. So apply some thick and thin lines to help give some weight to our drawing. So we're just placing some of those heavier lines across the center of each curve. Now I want to use the flat edge of my 2mm mechanical pencil and start adding some shadows and tones. So I want to darken up that tongue so it's pushed into a silhouette, and then fade that as it comes in towards the throat. So it's brighter inside the mouth. You want to silhouette the tongue. Now let's go to the beak. Just going to darken that up and then fade that up. I'm just going to push the shadows along the bottom edge of each shape so the light's coming down across our character. Just going to darken up the top edge of the mouth and then fade that up. Also the cartilage. Just going to push the top a little bit more into shadow. Also want to darken up each of those fins across the tip and then fade that forward. I'm going to go back to the base layer of shadows. Just add a core shadow. So we're just going to leave a little gap, so there's a bit of a highlight. And this will help give some more shape to our drawing. So you're just lifting up that shadow across the bottom. I'm just going to add a little bit of texture inside that fin. Just pulling it from the outside. I'm just going to mirror that fine detail inside. Now I'm just going to add some texture of scales inside. So we're going to start with the jaw. Again, just using the side edge of my 2mm mechanical pencil. Just adding these spots. You can just layer some of that in across the top. You want to vary the size of these spots. Add some larger ones, and then smaller ones as they come forward towards the highlight. And as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to add a little bit more detail and shading, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of a fire-breathing dragon. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, you might want to check out this video over here. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.